Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. There's a chance that this may become my best produced video I have ever made. It's not guaranteed that, but it's because I'm doing a lot of this in advance. For context, the Winnipeg Jets haven't released their roster yet. Actually, when this video is out, the Winnipeg Jets have released their development camp roster, and I wanted to do a little piece on the invites. This isn't technically a transaction video. It'll probably go in the transaction folder, or it won't, because who cares, honestly? It's just organization for me. What I decided I wanted to do was I wanted to just talk about these guys briefly, because every so often we get people that go to these camps that end up finding some connection down the road with the Winnipeg Jets or the Manitoba Moose. Now, there's a couple that stick out to me here. First off, is I pulled up a thing from 2019 with Ryan Szaszowski, who played for the Manitoba Moose last season. That was so weird. Graham Sword attended this, then went to the Young Stars Classic, then signed a deal with the Manitoba Moose. Ben Zelati was invited, signed a deal with the Manitoba Moose the day of the first day of camp, as well as Alex Worthington, who was the backup for the Manitoba Moose in their final game. So there is like a pipeline here. There's a thought process. But also what I wanted this video to be about was just highlighting the skill of some players that don't get appreciated enough, because we talk so often on this channel. I've tried to change some of that narrative with a lot of Moose coverage and stuff like that. But so often I feel like we only care about the best people at a sport. And I get that. I get that argument a lot, but there's a lot that has to be said for the people that have skill but are not amazing. But you know what? They're still better than you, and they're still better than me. So we're going to talk about some of them. This is going to go, I'm going to pretty much stitch all these videos together. I'm going to do a video 2 minutes or so on each person, and then we'll go, and there's one that is not me that I got AZ Sports Guy to talk about because he's a massive ASU fan, because he lives in Arizona. And you know what? If you know somebody who is informative on the game of hockey from Arizona, and you see a player playing for Arizona State University, you have all right to ask your friend to tell you about him. And that's what I did here. I basically just DM'd my friend and been like, can you do me a favor here? And he did. And it was amazing. So yeah, this is going to be like a multi-part, like this is going to be one video, but I'm going to chapter it for you guys. Don't worry. And we're just going to talk about every player there that you have Basically, this is a video on who are these guys? Why do I care? And who are they? That's basically what it is. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the list. This part of the video is on Ben Dexheimer. Ben Dexheimer is one of the first 6 people that were announced to be joining this group. A defenseman invite. This was all, by the way, these first 6 courtesy of Mark Diver, or Mark Deaver, depending, Diver, or however it's pronounced, Divver. I highly recommend you follow him on Twitter for all things NCAA. He seems extremely informative from my brief time of viewing it. But he announced Matt Desiderio, which is as kind of the headliner of these 6 people. And then he also mentioned 5 others, including Ben Dexheimer, Tyson Gross, Tate Pritchard, Drew Montgomery, and Kyle Smolen. We will do clips on those later in this video. Ben Dexheimer, defenseman. He has played the last 3 years at University of Wisconsin. When Dexheimer's not joining the rush, he's leading it. He uses the middle to draw pressure, then passes through it. He's always looking for a cross-ice pass to change the point of attack and create numbers up ice. From the point, Dexheimer takes every centimeter of space defenders concede. He steps inside before shooting, initiates give and go to slip behind defenders, and combines handling and in-motion pass receptions to misdirect defenders. This is Elite Prospects 2022 NHL Draft Guide on Ben Dexheimer. He's 22 years old as of now. He's 5'10", which probably is something that has been working against him his entire life, if we're completely honest. And he has 56 points in 110 games. The University of Wisconsin is not a bad hockey program by any stretch of margin, honestly. I would argue, especially coming from a state where hockey is a lot more valued than others, in a northern state, of course. For him to be playing at such a high level in university is commendable. And I think, honestly, well, he'll be interesting to see there. I think a lot of these guys, people are just going to be like, oh, these are really cool players out there, and they want to see them match up. That's why they're being matched up with prospects in the Jets system. It's a good mix. So, yeah, that's who Ben Dexheimer is.
How's it going? You don't know who I am? That's fine. I'm the AZ Sports Guy, and this prospect report is brought to you by Zach Nolan on YouTube. You're already watching it, but I thought it'd be funny to make it a sponsorship. Contractual obligations out of the way. For some reason, he approached me and wanted me to talk about an ASU hockey prospect, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Talking about forward Kyle Smolen. He's a right shot forward. He's a 23-year-old kid, standing at 5'11", or 180 centimeters, and 176 pounds, or 80 kilos. Now, don't ask me what a kilometer is. I refuse to look it up. I wanted to start with his career in the USHL because it really has turned into the league that prepares kids for the NCAA. Played for the Fargo Force for 4 seasons, 33 goals, 44 assists, 77 points. In that final season at Fargo, 22-23, he was the captain, 17 goals, 22 assists, 39 points. That final season had a lot of heavy lifting for him, and that steady progression of point production seems to have followed him to the NCAA with ASU. So 23-24, his first season, 36 games, 7 goals, 9 assists, 16 points. I remember him very much just being a bottom sixer, a useful bottom sixer. 59 penalty minutes, he was a +3. Overall, more defensively responsible, hard-working guy. Got himself in some trouble. And 24-25, 35 games, only 1 fewer played, 12 goals, 18 assists, 20 points. Everything just went up. Except for penalty minutes, went down to 22, and his plus-minus went up to a +12. It's just showing, it's just little things showing that, again, defensively responsible, a team-first guy, maybe at the NCAA level, pushed himself to a middle six role, but still more so kind of that bottom sixer. But he was named a captain alongside Bennett Shemek for the 25-26 season coming up. And I had no idea what to do with the empty space down here, so miscellaneous in 16-17, HPHL 14U champion. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's junior hockey, and I'm just going to have that there because you need to have some miscellaneous notes, right? That would have just been way too much empty space. But I primarily watched ASU hockey during the Josh Doan years, Last year I watched a couple of games, so I did have to not only rely more on stats, but also watch some highlights and try to refamiliarize myself with Kyle Smolen. But the best way I can kind of put it in perspective for you, Winnipeg Jets people, probably a bottom sixer if he ever makes the NHL, maybe a useful AHLer should he end up signing after college, and there's something here. He has a bit of an engine, he's a hardworking kid, again, overall defensively responsible, kind of that more general utility kind of player, and you need those in your lineup. So, there you go. That is Kyle Smolen. I am AZ Sports Guy. I don't know how to end this.
Continuing with these free agent invites, we have Tyson Gross. Tyson Gross is 22 years old, from Calgary, Alberta, 6'2", and a right winger. He is currently attending St. Cloud State University, and if that sounds vaguely familiar from a prior video I did, it's because Manitoba Moose defenseman Dylan Anhorn attended St. Cloud State University. Honestly, it's a really solid hockey program that they have, and Tyson Gross is a part of it. Prior to that, he played in the USHL in Fargo and Cedar Rapids. He has currently 45 points in 70 NCAA games combined between the last 2 years. And this actually is not his first development camp that he's been to. I did some research, and I found Tyson Gross' name show up on the 2024 Vegas Golden Knights prospect development camp. So this is the second camp that he's been invited to. So yeah, that's Tyson Gross. Next up on our list is defenseman Seth Fryer. Seth Fryer is quite the behemoth to look at. He is 6'7". Where have you heard this story before? But unlike that, he has a fun little draft prospect call. He plays for the Victoria Royals. He had 20 points in 135 games cumulatively of the last 3 seasons that he has played there. As well, he has a draft prospect guide because he was draft eligible in 2024. He is 19 years old right now from Victoria, BC. This is what it said. As soon as Fryer gets the puck, he's looking to make a play. He makes some high-level reads, such as a fake shot into a pass across the slot or deceiving the forecheck to slip a pass straight up the middle. He activates when possible and moves through pass receptions to beat defenders into space. He even tries more advanced lateral, stop, start, and manipulation play. That's from Elite Prospects 2024 NHL Draft Guide. That is Seth Fryer. Next up is one of technically 2 goalie invites. However, I'm not including Alex Worthington in the video because Alex Worthington has already played a game with the Manitoba Moose. He didn't actually play in the game, but he backed up Dominic DiVincentis or Chris Drieger in the final game of last season. So he is not going to be in this video, but Alex Worthington is someone who obviously is proof that the pipeline to the Moose exists through these camps. Cole Moore is the goalie we're talking about. He used to be playing for the Aberdeen Wings in the NAHL until committing to the Bowling Green State University, which is the university that Connor Levis will be playing out of next season. Former draft pick and of the Winnipeg Jets, who is now a UFA after he cleared the draft this year. Anyway, Cole Moore, though, has played in 44 games in the NCAA. In that time, he has a record of 16, 14, and 2 in those 2 years. Last season, he had a 280 goals against average and a 906 save percentage. He's from Toronto, Ontario. And yeah, no, honestly, I think he's going to, it'll be interesting to see if he's the starter next year at Bowling Green State University, but they've been trying to make some moves for some players from the CHL, so they could be a better team this year. And yeah, that is Cole Moore. Next on our list is defenseman Avery Laliberte. He is a North Michigan University commit. He used to play a part on the Rinks hockey team. You know, the rink that's on the other end of the city called the Rink. Like, that's just the name. He used to play on that developmental team growing up, which makes a lot of sense why it's kind of come full circle. He's from Lorette, Manitoba. He played in the MJHL for the Niverville Nighthawks for the last 2 years, and in that time, he recorded 59 points in 105 games. Always nice to see local talent at the developmental camp, and we'll see if it pays off in anything in the future. Matthew Desiderio is the next one, and the one that Mark Diver was extremely excited about. He was the one that headlined his tweet announcing that him and 5 other players would be at Jets development camp, which is not nothing. That's always important. He was actually available in the draft. He's a Brown University commit. He's 6'3" from New Jersey, and in 108 games he had 52 points, which means it's about almost a point per every second game pace, which is an extremely well statistic, honestly, especially for him. So yeah, that is Matthew Desiderio, who will be attending Jets development camp. Drew Montgomery. He is 22. He's from Grand Forks in the area at 5'11". He is currently at Colorado College, where he had 28 points in 69 games combined. In the prior years in the USHL, he was with Tri-City and with Omaha. In terms of why he's here, honestly, I think the North Dakota, Minnesota region is a place that the Jets have a lot of scouts in. They like knowing when talent is close, and they like knowing when players are close in similar environments. And there doesn't get much more similar than North Dakota and Minnesota to Manitoba. And yeah, that is Drew Montgomery. The next person we're going to talk about is Tate Pritchard. Tate Pritchard was one of the first 6 people announced, or shall we say, leaked by the media. He is a forward from Savage, Minnesota. wonderful name for a city, who previously had played 2 years on the Sioux City Musketeers. In that time, he amassed, let's just check the notes here, he amassed 82 points in 111 games in the USHL. He's 20 years old, and he is committed to the University of Minnesota, so he will be there next year. So yeah, that's Tate Pritchard. Next, we have Teydon Trembecky. Teydon Trembecky is an Albertan. He is 20 years old. He has played for the Victoria Royals and the Brandon Wheat Kings. He started in the Brandon Wheat Kings, playing 24 games there before getting traded to the Victoria Royals in the 2022-2023 season. And since then, Trembecky has exploded in his offensive output. He put up 20 points in the first 2 years. Last year, though, with the Victoria Royals, on a very good Victoria Royals team that even included Jets prospect Marcus Lopinen and the aforementioned Seth Fryer, he put up 88 points in 67 games, was a plus 37, had 19 points in 11 playoff games. Honestly, super impressive. He's 20 years old right now, from Strathcona, Alberta. And yeah, that is Teydon Trembecky. He's also 5'11", which is very good, especially because often people kind of count certain people out in terms of their height ability. So yeah, that's Teydon Trembecky. Next person on our list is Rylan Brown. Rylan Brown was actually rated 225th on McKean Hockey for prospects in the area. Unfortunately, the draft ends at like 230, so he wasn't included. He has 18 points in 36 games. He goes to Michigan Tech, which is the other Michigan-based university behind like Michigan and Michigan State. In Western Michigan, there's also Michigan Tech. He is 6 feet tall, and honestly, this is kind of a theme that you're going to notice. All the defensemen they brought in were tall. I'd say he is probably the shortest one. It's either him or Kaleb Hartmann. I haven't looked at Kaleb Hartmann's height yet. But yeah, it's always interesting to see what they view here, but him being at Michigan Tech is probably a strong indication of why they wanted to get a look at him. And honestly, he was ranked on some prospects lists. So yeah, that's Rylan Brown. Rounding out our list is Kaleb Hartmann. I left Kaleb Hartmann last because he's actually the youngest person there. He's 17 years old, which means he possibly might not even be on anyone's radar right now. He's from Langley, BC. He's a defenseman for the Seattle Thunderbirds. And he's just, he's 6'1". It's interesting. The Jets have a history of drafting people that spend time or are from the Seattle Thunderbirds. They've done it with Tyrell Bauer. They've done it with Thomas Milich. They've made assigned Brad Lambert there. So there's definitely some intriguing moments there. It's curious to see how his career will progress because he is the youngest here. Was draft eligible in 2025. Seattle Thunderbirds of the WHL, he had 20 points on 120 games. That is Kaleb Hartmann, and that is our list. Once again, guys, I know these are pretty quick profiles. I didn't want to make this video drag on. Appreciate AZ Sports Guy for covering Smolen, because that was obviously something that he's an absolute stud in knowing that information. But yeah, draft camp started today. So you probably already got a good look at them. I just want to make this video just kind of as a period piece, because you never know when somebody who went to a development camp is going to pop up somewhere else. Like some people that went to development camp this year for us, I saw one defenseman that is at the Dallas Stars development camp now. So you just never, ever know. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it a little bit informative, made you maybe want to look into some of these prospects and these prospective prospects. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.